Thank you both for being here. I'm going to start with you, Eric. If you could tell us what the charges were in Florida and why they were dropped.
Well, the charges were unfounded. The charges never should have been brought in the first place. White boy Rick has become a target. Since the unfortunate life and what happened to him and his incarceration and the unfairness that he's been through in his life, he's made himself a target. I mean, he faced an accusation here in South Florida of a strong arm robbery for snatching allegedly a necklace and for a battery. And at the end of the day, those charges were dropped. We never thought those charges were going to go anywhere. We never felt that those charges should have been filed. And the best that I can say to you is that we're happy, we're elated that it's over. Rick has been through a lot in his life, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to be one of the attorneys here that's represented him. A lot of times in our line of work, we'll see individuals like him or high-profile individuals that will become a target or will be wrongfully or unjustly accused. So to finally get the outcome here, this is a alleged incident that happened out of May, and to have the charges dropped, we're really happy and elated for our client.
Rick, what does it mean to you to have these charges dropped?
It means everything to me. I don't want my name to be, listen, I want to make something clear to everybody in this interview. One of the things that I'll never condone is hitting a woman. I never hit her. I never did the things that she alleged that I did. I didn't appreciate that the media ran with her story and just accepted everything that was said before the truth came out. There were very few reporters that actually said, hey, there's two sides to every story. And I've been dealing with the media my whole life, basically, from a juvenile now into my mid-50s. And one of the things that I think in media is, they don't always do their due diligence and see that there's, two sides. I understand everybody wants to be first to press, but it was hard, very hard the first 2 months to swallow, to be accused of the things that I was accused of. I don't have a problem with people committing, things happen in life. And if something happens, you have to deal with it and face it. But to be accused of something that I'm totally against and that I've donated money to throughout my life, it was very upsetting. And I think I stressed Eric and Frank out quite a bit the first 2 months about this.
Like, kind of on that note, do you think your story makes you more of a target?
Absolutely. This was a very big wake-up call for me. And I don't think the young lady realized who I was or how big of a story that this would turn to when she made these allegations. And as she thought about it and as the prosecutor looked into what happened, nothing happened for me to be charged with a third-degree felony and a misdemeanor. Things were left at my house. Finally, she asked for her property to be returned. It was returned, and the charges were dropped.
So, kind of bouncing around, but still on that same kind of topic of you're a famous person. You have tremendous notoriety, but you've never really benefited from that fame. Like, how do you navigate that?
It's difficult. I feel good when, the love that I get around the country, not just in Detroit, but around the country. People ask me for a picture, people reach out to me from all over the world on social media. And, as far as benefiting from it, I live a good life. I think my brand is doing very well. It's an educational tool that we use to teach people their Eighth Amendment. We do a lot in the community through my brand. Just recently, me and my partner, Ron Fox, we gave a check for over $50,000 to foster kids. And we've done much, much more, and we'll continue to do more in our community.
Would you just touch on, you're referring to your brand, like what is that organization? What is it, a nonprofit? What is the
I have a nonprofit being developed right now called Wershe's Way. And my brand is the Eighth, which is a cannabis brand here in Michigan, soon to be launched in California. And the Eighth is your Eighth Amendment, which is the ban on cruel and unusual punishment, excessive bail, excessive fines.
Can I ask as well, like, you've spent more than half your life in prison, and kind of been used by the feds and police to further their purposes, and had done so when you were very young. How are you not bitter about that?
Listen,
Or are
if
you
I'm
bitter
bitter
about that?
if I'm bitter, Amy, they're still winning. So I look at it like, the better I do in life and the better I live my life, I'm winning. So listen, there's no doubt about it. You can ask anybody. They used me and abused me as a juvenile. Anyone who says that they didn't, they're corrupt, or they're just lying to cover up what happened. They lied. They lied to keep me in prison. I'm out of prison. And they did things that good law enforcement officers don't support. And these things that were done, I don't think they would get away with them in today's day and age.
On a different note, what do the holidays look like? Got
Amazing. Listen, we're gonna give some kids some stuff, and last year we gave every kid in the Macomb County Youth Home a pair of Air Force Ones. We plan to repeat that. We have a juvenile program that I work with that we're gonna take care of those kids. So for me now, the holidays is all about giving to the less fortunate. I did 33 years in prison, but I consider myself very blessed.
I'll start with you, Eric. Is there anything you'd like to address that regarding either the charges, any aspect that hasn't been touched on that you'd like us to know?
I just want to say that they were happy and were elated that the charges were dropped. We never believed that they should have been filed or dealt with in the first place. And it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to meet someone like Rick, with the adversity and the hardship and everything that he's had to endure and suffer in his life, and that he spent most of his life in prison, to see how he's become. And Amy, when you ask if he seems bitter, I mean, he is not someone to me that seems bitter. He seems someone that is accepting and has persevered and has taken very negative experience and turned it into a positive. And I'm sorry that I had to meet him through this experience, but I'm happy as one of his lawyers that this saga, that these charges are dropped and dismissed, and now that Rick can go on and do what he does and continue to help people and get involved and use his experience as to what he went through as a positive and as a lesson for others.